No, stop it. No, okay. It stopped. It's fine. Okay, so happy Thursday. If you cannot tell, I definitely have an extra pep in my step today. And it's for y'all, but it is mostly because I have guests today, y'all. I haven't had, y'all know, y'all ain't got to yell at me like my producer did, but I ain't had guests in a long time. So I'm going to get through our intro and I'm going to get straight to them because I'm very excited to have them join me today. So welcome and welcome back to another episode of the B Mix right here on BeExposedRadio.com. You already know what Thursday nights at 8 p.m. are for. It's for the everybody, but you know, if we have to specify, we got to point out a few people. It's for the unseen, the unheard, the overlooked, whether it be the forgotten part of you or for the person that just doesn't belong anywhere. You already know it's always for the raw and organic and authentic materials. So without further ado, I don't even know what word to really use, but I really am that excited, y'all. Y'all know I'm extra. I can't help it, right? Anywho, and y'all know I'm feeling much better, y'all. Okay, now we can got over cold. I'm here. Okay, so anywho, without further ado, it is my esteemed pleasure to introduce to you my sister. Okay, so I have two sisters, right? That are joining us today. One from church. I love that when it's like different people to come together from different parts of your life. So I have sister from church. I have Linda with me, and this sister from work, Shantae. Lynn, I tell y'all, they're my sisters. They're my sisters, so they didn't messed up. I don't know if they know that, but they didn't messed up because it's over now. We in there. I don't know. They kind of stuck with me, so that's it. So please welcome Linda and Shantae to the show tonight because they're here, y'all. We're going to get into this thing and talk about a mother's mentality if we can. Okay. So y'all know that this being the month of May, so happy May, everybody. Happy May. It is officially the month that is set aside to recognize or for mental health awareness, right? And so I really wanted to kick off this month, especially just in time for Mother's Day this upcoming weekend. So I really hope it's some things that maybe you both don't know about that's coming up for you, for someone to celebrate you. But just in time for motherhood, I really want to kick off this month just getting into a mother's mentality because I don't know about nobody else, but that's a mouthful for me. So I'm just saying, just whatever a mother got to think, what a mother got to do, baby. That's it, right? And it doesn't even have to get too hot and heavy. It really could be all fluff and all good things that a mother has to do. It's still heavy. Okay, so again, without further ado, Linda, Shantae, y'all want to say a little something before we get into like some questions, into some conversation? It's up to you. I don't know. I'm putting you on the spot yet, nothing, but it's up to you. What's going on? You want to say hi to the people? What's some people out there?
Yeah. I mean, I want to. Oh, sorry.
Please go.
I just want to say hi and thank you for, letting me be a part of this show. I'm excited to talk about mother things because I'm a mom and that's very special to me. And of course, I have a mom who's very special to me. So I'm looking forward to the conversation. I can't wait to get started.
Thank you. Well, girl, we here now.
Right.
Linda, you want to say anything before we get started?
Sure. Piggyback off of Shantae and what you've already said. I'm excited and thank you again for inviting me just to be a part of this. It's big, and I pray that you glow up from here. So thank you for inviting me, and I'm definitely excited to talk about motherhood. And as Shantae already said, I have a mother, and I am a mother of one, a girl in the 21st century. A preteen. We can get into all that. The TikTok, all of that.
It's the hats off to y'all because with that being said, thank you, Linda, for sharing. You are a mother of one, and you said, and a girl, right? And I love that baby. Okay, I'm talking about a beautiful young lady. It's ridiculous. Like, and I want to say, in case she's ever come to you, Linda, and been like, it's that brown lady over there with the locks. Like, I just randomly be like, I'm just proud of you. I love you. I try to be the weird aunt, but I am. Like, I know it just, hey, I love you. Like, that's all I can get out most of the time. Like, when I see her. So just in case she's trying to tell you who it is, it's me. It's
okay.
So sorry. So we have a mom of one girl in the 21st century. That is definitely enough. We're gonna get back to that, right? And so Shantae, you are a mom of
Three.
yeah.
Two boys and a girl.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. And y'all know it's me. I got my little one over here, my one and only right now, but still one. I Miss Ma'am. Y'all know, my real boss. So, she definitely runs this household and runs me. So it's just at the tender age of 4. Okay. And okay. Y'all, and now I jotted down a few little questions. I just some things I want to get into. I'm not gonna lie, but if we rear off, it's fine too because I always do. So it's totally fine.
Okay.
But so first question I have is, and either one of you didn't start. It doesn't have to be a promise. It's not like a too formal of a thing. But my first question is, what is it about the woman that you are that you thought you'd never be? So like right now, Linda right now, Shantae right now, what is it about just who you are, whether it's motherhood or not, just the woman you are right now that maybe you thought you'd never be? Like, just for a small example for myself, it's like, child, I never even thought I'd go natural, let alone ever lock my hair. So never thought, right? So it can be that or anything happy. I'm curious. I like thought provoking.
I didn't think about that one.
I love those. I love it. It's okay. You can definitely take a moment. I promise.
I can get started while she's thinking.
Okay.
I didn't really ever see myself being stable because I always like to go.
Okay.
To go. And with having a child, you have to provide stability. Mm-hmm. So I want to get up and move to Texas. I can't do that. Mm-hmm. If I just want to fly off and take a trip to Cancun, I can't do that. Mm-hmm. So it provided me the stability because that's why I only had one.
Okay, come on. Yes.
So I say that just being stable and not, just moving whenever, doing whatever when I felt like doing it.
Ooh, that's good. Stability.
That is good. Yeah.
I like that. Thank you, Linda.
I guess for me, I would say probably 2 things. I didn't expect to be a single parent. That's number one.
Come on. No,
then, well, I'm divorced, so just to put that out there. But I thought that was gonna be the fairy tale picket fence like life. And I didn't think I'd be an entrepreneur either because for many years as a single parent, I tried to work places and it was really hard being a single parent of 3, trying to, work, keep within a certain schedule, but also take care of all of their stuff and just be present for everything. And so even though they're older now, my youngest is at 12, 16, and 19. Just being an entrepreneur gives me a little bit of flexibility that I wish I had when they were younger, but it's good that I have it now. And, it also, I think, shows them what the possibilities are as they get older, that you don't have to work for someone. You can really use what skills you have or use what your passion is and kind of create your own thing. And it can be successful, and you can also do something that gives back. So those are the 2 things I think that I never thought would happen. Never thought I'd be as a parent.
Okay. No, that's good. Okay. I appreciate that. And I was taking some note from what both of you said. And so I got that some things that were most important for you. And I love how, I don't know if anybody else was listening, but the way I was listening, I don't know if it was like, it's one thing to have like the mommy ear where it's like you in the house and you can hear everything, right? So not mommy ear, right? But I don't know if it was like just as a mother, because I can relate that even like, I don't know, immediately from when both of you spoke, that it came out that it went to, how to care and nurture for your child or for your children. So like things like stability, presence, flexibility, possibilities, like those things, like immediately. And I left the question, you know, as open as I possibly could, because I wanted to just see where it went, knowing that a mother just can't help it. Oh, Malika says hi. Hey, Malika.
Hey.
So, like, it's just, I love just how naturally a mother, like, will just, baby, she gonna take care of that baby. Okay, you hear me? From an aunt, a mama aunt, an orangutan mama, like,
so true.
Mama, but a mama period is gonna take care of that baby. And I just love how naturally your answers, like, they started off like literally equally. They both of your responses started off like, you know, yeah, you know, I kind of thought, you know, this and, you know, that, you know, just for me, but maybe for my baby, I made sure now I got this. It was more so of how your child or your children like shifted you to what, you know, this place that you, and, you know, own these things for yourself. So kudos to both of you as women, right? Because that's very important to be able to distinguish between the two, like, you know, woman and then mama. Now, just, you know, don't get twisted. I'm both now. I can mix them, but I'm both.
Right.
Separately, you know, but just same. So I really appreciate that. And I loved it. Oh Lord, I just love to hear mama talk. I ain't lying. So with that though, so where, as a mother, where is it that you most feel empowered? Like you either, I'm gonna just leave it there. I actually don't even want to draw that any other way. Like, just for you, like, where is it that you feel like, okay, something or somebody pours into me for this, or I feel, you know, more inspired or empowered in this particular area as a mother, or even, you know, we can open it up as a woman. So as a woman and or as a mother, where is it that you most feel empowered?
For me, I feel that I get the opportunity to guide another person. I get the best. I get to prepare another human that I would sacrifice my own life for. And I get to build this innocent person to one day to a responsible, self-loving adult.
Girl, that's good. Woo! Don't now. Come on. Now.
I love that.
That's good. That's it.
That was good.
But really, though,
was.
Like, that's it. Like, that is
captured it all. Like, he captured it. Yeah.
That's really, really, really. That was, ooh, Linda. I ain't lying. You just out my socks with that one, because it is. And I don't know. And I know I know my child is the youngest out of everybody's here, and so it's like, I don't know if y'all let me know, does it wear off? Because there are so many days, and I mean, as only 4 years have gone by, but still 4 years, and I'll still find myself like, what? So God, let me pause just for a minute. So you're saying to me that you know, when picking was Benia, it's her time, and I'm gonna give her this one. I'm gonna give her this one, and she to, like, I'm gonna trust her with this. This is a precious one. Now this, I brushed her off, I cleaned her up, and I gave, you know, this one to her to, like you said, to guide and to embed. Oh my Lord. Oh, that was so good, Linda, because that is exactly, like, literally just how I feel every day. Like, I know life and just the world, and I mean, now we can just think of 2020 and 2021 alone, right? And, you know, distract you, but it's like, I really carry that inside of me every day. Like, wow, why you trusted me? Go ahead, Shantae.
I was just gonna say, and it never stops. I mean, my oldest is 19, and I still feel that way. Like, I think when he's like 30, I'm still gonna feel that way. I have to remind myself constantly that he's like grown, but still, you always feel like that. And the thing is, I would say, just back to the original question, just feeling empowered when you see them, you know, accomplish things and reach their goals. And it doesn't even have to be something major. It could be a small decision or a small choice that they make in their life, or a choice they make in I don't know, they might just show compassion to someone. It could be any little thing, but when you see it, I feel empowered by that because I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right here. and then I'm also like, okay, they were listening, even when you think they're not. They do hear you, and it registers when they need it most. It comes to them. So yeah, definitely.
That's good. Okay. So that's good. I'm telling you, and let me be ultra honest that these questions are really for me. Like they're really for my personal life. Like, okay, so I can make that note. Like, so this is okay that I feel this way now. Cause I just read, I don't know, y'all can call me weird, it's fine. But I still read my little emails. You know, when you're pregnant, if you like sign up for little apps or just things.
Yeah.
So they tell you, kind of guide you along. So I used to be so like excited, like, oh my gosh, she's the size of a blueberry. Okay, now she's the size of a grapefruit, right?
Oh,
so now I love them because I thought it just ended. Like, okay, well, she's here now. Like, go on, girl. But they'll send you emails. And so like this one that I'm just read, like her being 4, that they said like, don't, be surprised that you'll start to see that, her, in my own words, like her compassionate bone, has grown and is developing. And so it made me think, because I'll be honest that I know everybody thinks that baby is like advanced, but for real, like I'll see some things in her before, some things that I read, or, you go to the doctor and check off things like, oh, well, she's already doing this, right? And so I've seen like, even the cat, so our cat name is Maui. And she'll be like, Maui, are you okay? Like it just, right? And it moves me. So to hear that you feel that, even for your baby that is grown, it's like, okay, woo. Okay. Yeah. So it's not just me being like, I do believe, only because I need to have more like mommy conversations, right? That I'll sometimes think like, oh Lord, am I overly sensitive, or am I like rooting for her like too much? Because it's everything, but I'll keep out of it like locked inside, because I don't want to be that person. I want her to really feel like she's proud of herself. So it doesn't that my pride in her doesn't take precedent over her own just self. Where all of that, right? All that matters to me. And so it just feels good. So I'm being honest that these questions, like I said, are really for me, my own notes, because I'm telling you, I'll be like, wow, so there's life after 4. Okay, cool. Like, yes. All right, it's good to know. I'm telling y'all right now, because it be touch and go sometimes. I ain't lying. But it's just for viewers and for listeners, that just to recap again, just between the two of you now that have like really rocked my socks. Only 2 questions in. I'm so excited. That just even from that question where I asked for Linda and Shantae to share where they feel empowered or most empowered, as a mother and or as a woman. And so to hear that again, the beauty of a mother, that literally it goes back to, and it's powerful. Statements that were made, and just powerful things, like more so like contributions to society and to our world that we so desperately need. Whereas where Linda talked about like the opportunity to guide and to invest, and then Shantae talked about that it registers just for things as far as like just to witness your child being compassionate. Like those things just help me feel like, okay, I actually might be doing this thing kind of right. Sometimes here and there, a lot of times I'm not, but it's okay. Balance, right? Because of just how important it is for us to really pour into, these seeds and these plants or flowers or however you want to put them that, are growing literally every day, but just as much as we are. And so what is feeding our growth is, what we're feeding into them. And so the good in it, like, I just love to hear and love to give, chance for, good and great mothers. Side note, I don't think I would have even thought to ask her to come up on here if I wasn't confident in your mother. I'm saying it now. Just throwing it out there. So in case y'all was questioning, there should be no question. Now I no question. So just to give the chance, though, because unfortunately we hear about so many, we're in Baltimore City. That alone, but just in the world that we're in, we hear of so much, not so good. So I don't know if anybody else thinks like I do. I'll think like, their mama now, what their mama do, what did that baby miss that the mama tried to put in them, or where was mama type thing, because it does go back to that, unfortunately, sometimes. And so I love to just, like I said, I love to hear mamas just talk. It's going to come back to mommy, and it's going to come back to it. Child, mama could talk about all of this out here in the world, but it's going to come back to her being a mama. And I really love that what empowers you is actually empowering your children. Like how beautiful is, Lord, I'm getting on my nerves already. I ain't lying. Getting on my nerves. But okay, so of course, and I've always shared with viewers and listeners that they know you cannot question about Benia being a spiritual person. That's just it. It's there. It's gonna be there. I don't plan for it to go nowhere else, child. Side note, because I told y'all I'm going to tangents and I'm going to go to the question, I promise. But side note, when I tell y'all, talk about being empowered, right? And this has nothing to do with motherhood in a sense. But so I had a therapy session today, y'all. We definitely, especially by being mental health awareness. So y'all know I'm always open about, therapy. I tell everybody that's breathing, we need therapy. If you're breathing and happy, you need therapy. If you're breathing and sad, you need therapy. Just gonna go on and keep pushing that on out there. But so I actually, coincidentally, I happened to have a therapy appointment set today. And I haven't had one, I don't know, like a couple months. Anywho, and so when I told my therapist, she was like, I'm running it down to her, y'all. I'm just girl and this and that and job and just everything. And so, and she wound up saying, she said, I'm really happy that it seems like that your spirituality is what takes you, like, just helps you go through and get them. I said, girl, that is one of the best compliments you could tell me. Do you understand? Not that I'm doing it for nobody to get it, but I guess really it's supposed to, kind of catch flame and spread fire. Oh Lord, I had to just put that out there somewhere, y'all. But it is related to my next question, which is just how, I guess, how important is it, for your family? I won't even just say children, but just for your family to be a part of your spiritual walk, your spiritual work, just who you are spiritually, just speaking to your spirit woman, like how important is that? And, it's one of those how important and why questions. Like, how important is it for your family to be a part of that, and why? I know there's control to it, but so whoever wants to take that one.
I'll go. I think when I think back to, I think back to my mom and the things that she instilled in me when I was younger. I was annoyed, I have to say, because it was very, my mom was one of those, let's just say it was a little extreme. Okay. Like we couldn't watch, like the Smurfs, like anything with witchcraft. I couldn't listen to secular music like that. I mean, I was sneak, but
got it.
but you know what? I'll say throughout my life, whenever there was something I was going through, it was that solid foundation, like literally scriptures or songs come to my head if I'm going through something, and it's like stuff that I just knew from just memorization from when I was young, just from stuff my mom would say or songs she would sing around the house. And it has been so helpful to me, because as much as I tried to run from it, I never could, because it was just always like in the back of my head. And it was just so far I would go outside of the boundaries before I would say, okay, this is too much. So it's important for me that my children have that. It's a little different in the way, and my approach is different than my mom, of course, because I do think it was a little extreme, but I just want to, I hope that they have that same foundation, and I want them to be able to have that to carry with them, to kind of guide them and give them strength whenever they're going through something and I can't be there, or, just life in general. So, yeah, so it is important for them to be a part of that and to have that to carry with them. Because yeah.
That's good. I appreciate that. That's good. It's real good. Okay, Linda.
When it comes to my spiritual walk, it becomes a little bit more personal because for me, I make sure that I'm aligned, and I am married. My walk is different than my husband's walk, so I am, in that sense, the priest of my home.
Gotcha.
So I have to, they depend on me for their spirituality. So it becomes more pressure because you can't never be off on a bad day. You can't slip. You can't because you know what I mean? It's like, so I have to always, in a sense, it always feel like pressure. So like, I'm gonna make this quick. My daughter had a really terrible bad dream. So this morning she came to me. It was about a mass shooting or something. She had a horrible dream. So I said, well, my thought is to let's pray. So when I began to pray for her, my eyes was closed. But when I opened my eyes, it was just tears. And this was a dream. So it's, in this day and time, you have to have some type of spiritual connection. And listen, I am full-blown Jesus Christ believer. But hey, if Muslim or Buddha, whatever works for you, that's going to keep you sane and going to keep you alive, then by all, do what's going to be best for your sanity. So just to circle back to your question, it's personal for me because I have to give so much out. So if that makes sense. So I have to make sure that I can't slip because people are watching constantly.
I know what you mean.
A lot of pressure, but
yeah, that's good. Ooh, okay, y'all. I'm telling y'all, feeding me. My spirit is over here, like, girl.
Yeah.
Okay. Woo. Oh. All right, I'm gonna get through the show. Because I know my producer over here, like, you better pull it together. So, okay, I'm gonna pause in that moment because I have to do this when I feel like, and it could just be me being me, and I'll apologize. But whenever I feel like somebody's like poured out enough, again, we're only like 3 questions, and not that it even like the numbers don't matter, but for y'all to have poured out already so much, and just in my mind, because I'm just like, we'll get through these questions. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be fun. But woo, like y'all have poured out, and I don't know if you're even aware, you feel it, because I hope that you are so full that even this amount of pour out has not, just diminished your. Bless you, my cat's over here sneezing because nobody cares that mom is trying to do her show. It's the fur baby too. He does what he wants to do. But truthfully, I want to just pause just to say thank you just for how much you have obviously there takes work on self. As here on the B-Mix, we talk about self-work, self-reflection, ding, 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 that should ring somebody's ears. We talk about that a lot here. And so it takes that to be able to be at this place on a platform, this is a public, platform, to be able to share these things that are, like, to use your word, Linda, that are personal, because this journey, just womanhood, motherhood, spirituality, all of that is a personal journey. It is exactly what it took for each of us to go through all the way up until today, at this very moment, to be able to, just bring these things together and then to share them in such a profound way. I'm saying words just do it for me, honey. So the fact that y'all have so eloquently, spoken and expressed, just your knowledge, your wisdom, you have shared your wisdom, right? So you've equally shared your knowledge that you've gained as well as your wisdom, because you're able to apply the knowledge that you've gained. And so I just have to take the moment to thank you, one, just because I really, really mean that. And I don't say from the bottom of my heart, I say with my heart and in my spirit, but also because I know we are, getting closer to the time to where I know Linda will have to log off. So I just still want to take that.
They is watching a movie.
Okay.
So,
all right, I'm just saying, listen.
Normally they're asleep, but they down the basement watching. Until they come up, I'm good.
I got listen. I understand. Even if it's like a blatant like click off, I understand. I know how they all up on this show talking to City. Like, yes, I'll paint the doll's nails in a minute. Like I just you don't care. You don't care. But to recap from the last question, just about the importance of your family being incorporated in your spiritual walk. Is that I love that, things were mentioned about, just so the installment your mother from your mother, right? So Shantae shared that. I love that. And then just also the fact that one of the things that I had in mind while I said about you applying your knowledge and sharing your wisdom is that it's powerful that Shantae, you shared that from what your mother instilled in you. And then the fact that in this day and how Linda said earlier, it just made it very plain. I love it. I'm parenting in the 21st century. So what's up? We talking about? Okay, so I love that all this got that similarity going on, right? That means that it takes a different approach. It just does. Like, and if you don't realize, for anybody out there, baby, I'm gonna tell you right now, okay? It's gonna take a different approach. And why I'm gonna go through all the rest of them, but I'm gonna tie that into one closer toward the end. But then we hear things about like foundation, so that's very important. Then about to repeat again that Linda said it's personal. It's personal. That is, oh Lord, get me like, ooh, that's just good. That shared that then as a mother. So I shared this that I'm also a single mother, and so but I share a similarity with you, Linda, that you have shared that you are essentially the priest of your home. I hear that. I do get that. I get that it's different households and different dynamics, but I get that because it is like that. And then just to share for me that I have 2 living parents, but truthfully, I am the matriarch of my family, and I have been, but I definitely am not like, ooh, Jack. And so it's really like, ooh, so back to that can't slip. It's like, okay. And then it's like, when you do slip, you're like, ooh, this is heavy. This is, but this heavy. This is, ooh. So then about the pressure or being, spiritually dependent, right? That'll preach. That's good. I love. So to go back to about the different approach. Yes. You think who now? Okay, go ahead, get your Rapunzel. Okay, go ahead, take it upstairs in your room. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am. I'm doing my show. Yeah, thank you so much. I sure will. All right now. It's honestly every time now. It used to be so great, and then I don't know. That's what it is. I think I had her on the show, and I think since then it was. Yeah, it's different.
She was on the show.
Yes, she was, and it might even be today. I don't know. I might end up because I'm sure this will not be the first time she comes down here. So sometimes it's just like, just come on, say hi.
Right.
But so back to this though, that it was about like different approach, and to tie it into the fact that I absolutely, Linda, I absolutely respect the fact that you said, listen. I always start off the same. Now I always say crazy Christ believer is what I call it. I'm firm in it. I love even, I'm so firm that I love discussions and even debates, about different religions. I used to love just learning about different religions and all that. And here's the thing, and this, that you have just got to have some type of spiritual connection. If you can at least get that foundation, just start it knowing, at least declaring and acknowledging that you need a spiritual connection. We can work on it, as we go on. That I need you to go the right way, but just start.
Right.
I mean, when I say I respect it so much, and I'm telling you that, and I'll take the moment again, really to admire, because I have the same amount of admiration for the both of you equally on this, right? And so, and knowing you both from 2 different parts of my life, it just, I don't know, I can't really put words to it, but it just does something for me, especially just to come together right now. And I'll be very honest. So Linda, for you to, and at church, I have really stayed. So Shantae, this is probably news to you that it's somewhere in life where I'm usually quiet into myself. And so she knows that I'm a little more not so quiet. I know it's probably hard to believe, but so for as long as I've just always been a member of our church, I've really put also stayed to myself, like just. But it doesn't mean that but I am naturally, I'm very observant. I can't help that. You see people, right? And then so when we're talking spiritually, you feel people. I'm a feeler. Like I do. I feel with just like I say, I breathe with my feet, child. I feel with my spirit. And so, just Linda, I'm talking about Shantae, honey, Linda will pray heaven down. Do you understand?
Right.
Talking about, like, who was it? I don't even remember. It was I think it was Pastor John Russell, I think. And he had said it was somebody, and it was semi-recent, like in past years or so, and another time that somebody else said it. But the very first time I heard somebody refer to Linda, so it was like, oh, she is like a spiritual pit bull. Like, baby, you don't even know. Like, I think that's how they said it. Something like, it's one of those like little puppies. Like, oh, and it's like, oh, you got to fight, girl. Now you can go now. Like, it's just, I feel that, and I respect that so much, right? And so, honestly, then, and this is why I talk about, especially like in church, because we know we gotta break the walls down there, so they're in the overall church, right? So it's like just why it's so important for us to have conversations, because I'm telling you now that it is really doing something for me, just in my mentality and my spirit, of just for you to have said, like, listen, it's just to have a foundation, again, to acknowledge that there's a spiritual connection, and this will guide and get you over there to declare and profess, that Jesus is Lord. We'll get there. But, that is so important, because and then even back with like Shantae, when you talked about like the older, I hear you, baby. It was my mother, when she went ahead and let me like start reading Harry Potter. It was because I love Harry Potter. It was a big deal. You know what I mean?
Right,
in the church, like, you saw the Harry Potter movie? And I was like, yes. Like, oh God.
Right.
What's going on? I don't know.
Oh, Dwindledorf.
Oh God. Oh God. Like, exactly, right? So like, you just bring all of that into perspective, like just to hear somebody else like, oh God, you think like that too? Okay, got it. Like that. And then somebody I look up to, oh my, yes, like it's doing something for me. That's probably why I'm yelling. But just, oh my God, I'm like feeding off of this whole entire vibe. And then I know I was doing like a recap of what y'all said, the last thing, and I know I kind of touched on it earlier, but when it was like the can't slip, like it does naturally bring on that pressure. But I know that in our walk, so I was speaking myself, in my walk, then you learn to just handle and to step up to that plate, and to balance out that pressure the best way you can. Because it's like, guess what? I know I'm in this pressure too. So either way, it's going to be pressure. I'm just very clear about that. It's pressure, behind me. There's a lot of pressure before me, but we're going to figure this thing out. And so it is like that can't slip. But I know that as we mature and continue to walk spiritually, and then in our womanhood, and then, our motherhood, and all of these other hats that we, respectively wear, that it's like we learn to be like, baby, and if I slip, let me tell you something, I'm gonna be straight. We're just gonna talk about this thing. This is what,
all right.
Just how it is, here, and just in my intro that I talk about, that it's for when I started this show, is that I felt like I was finally unmuting myself, because I've always, my whole life, I've always, been, perceived to be, I'm opinionated. I can have an opinion. I can speak on something. I can have a healthy debate, and just all these things. But people really just didn't. I was not talking. Like, I was just like the enemy was always trying to keep my words and to shut up my mouth, always. And so mentally, I took heed to that. I digress. But I've learned that, just with this platform alone, that it is for, the people that are like me, which really is everyone. There's somebody somewhere, no matter, how confident they come off to be, or, believe themselves to be, or whatever the case is, that, there's a part that, may be forgotten, that may not be tapped into yet. And so just, it's important to understand, like, at the end of the show, it's gonna slip, even with all this pressure. But we're just gonna work it out. And if I got to tell you about it, I'm gonna talk you through it. I'm gonna let you really okay, I can open up to you. So it's like vulnerability is something, you know how when you watch you watch the pageants, right? I don't know. It's always a weird part for me that I just love. So I always loved, of course, when it's the question of like, what would you do, to change the world or something? The answers are world peace. Girl, how?
Right.
What? Like you can specify for me. What you talking, right? Anyway, we get too into shows sometimes. Like it just, like my thing is always about like vulnerability. I think that because the overall goal for me, just about our world, is humanity. Bring back humanity for me, just please, right? And so the way to do that is for everyone to really get into their vulnerable, state and their vulnerable side, and that is just so important when we talk about like the pressures of life that all of us feel, right? So even for anybody that's out there that may not, claim themselves or be, as spiritual as you believe that you should be, or, that you want to be, or whatever the case, you still have life pressures. So you still, can relate to this conversation. And it's just that, it's just how do we deal with the, non-slip, can't slip, like, can't stop, won't stop, like it's going to happen. And so that's just an important piece that we kind of talk about here on the B mix of just like, baby, that imperfection, go on, embrace that thing. Just go on ahead. It's it. Because one last piece before I move to the next question is that something I think about often is that I cannot believe this is really what I mean. Seriously, sometimes I sit around and just fall all in love with God all over again, right? Because at some point, right, and I mean, it's going to be at the end of my life. So it's not even like, early on. Like, it's going to be at the end of my life where my soul is just as ugly as it want to be. It's been beat up. Like, I tried to protect it, but it's times where I beat it up myself, right? And so I'm just handing God this little dusty old ugly soul, just bullet holes and just burn marks, and you know what I mean? It got some lint hair stuck to it. Like it's ugly, and it's still willing to take it. And it is just like, God, I thank you. There is no way, because again, you getting this soul at the end of my life rather than the beginning where it's nice and fresh and brand new and it's cute. It was, putting on a little lip every once in a while, put a eyebrow on. This soul ain't doing that. Now my soul at the end of it is not. I'm telling, oh Lord, anyway, it's gonna be ugly, but he's going to take it, and it's why I enjoy conversations about just embracing imperfections, because it's so important, and it is because of all of the pressures of life that God is very much aware of. Even when it comes, down to our families, and it's because it's important to us, that our families are a part of our spiritual walk. Like back to the, original question. So when I say I really appreciate, both of your, input and insight, it is just, I really, really mean that. So, okay. So let's go back for a second, right?
Okay.
Think back to when you first found out you was finna be a mom. Okay. Just think back. I'm gonna give it a second. Okay. What was it? Like give me what was it? Like, okay, hey, however you found out, right? Give it to me. Where were you, in your mind at least, if you want to share like how exactly you found out, sure, but just give me that, just paint that little picture for me. I love to hear these stories. These are my favorite. I feel like these gonna be good. Yes.
Okay, I thought one. So when I found out I was going to be a mother, it was May 2008. It was ex-mother, and
wow,
it was a sleep that came over me that I never had before. And I'm pregnant, so I went out, got to the store. Lo and behold, and we were trying, so it ain't no. So it wasn't like. So at that moment when I found out, I don't know if I was excited anymore. You know how you wanted something, but then the reality hit, like, wait a minute, I gotta get my whole mind right. Wait a minute. So then went into, oh my God, I hope this baby healthy. Oh, I want a boy. It just went into all this crazy stuff. So my mom was on overload for, she came early, so for 8 months.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay. So throughout the basically for the duration of your pregnancy, it was just like, look, I'm trying to just trying to.
Yeah, my pregnancy was not good. So
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Uh,
I was trying to stay away from trying to, because I get for some people, I'm really learning just different stories, and different experiences that some people enjoy sharing their story and some people do not. Because I was excited to share mine because I had it weighed out, right? But overall, it was like healthy pregnancy and all. It was like, child, there was some things I could change.
and I'll say this before Shantae speak. So I was kind of glad that you brought that question up, and I'm a step aside, and we can revisit it later because that's when I realized I instantly had postpartum before I had and it is not.
Yes, talk about it.
So
yes,
that was part of the reason why I accepted, because prepartum and postpartum is never discussed. It's like an ugly secret. And I'm like, I am here to witness that it is real. I wasn't suicidal. I was.
Come on now. Come on. That's real. That's real talk right there.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Listen, you can talk about it right here. That's good. I'm making a note right now to pin that. Come on right on back to that. That's good. That's I'm gonna let Shantae share. We definitely gonna come right on back to that because I would definitely massage that out a little bit. I would, if you don't mind.
Okay, for me, I was really, really excited because I had a miscarriage prior to having my first son, and so I was excited and I was afraid that that the same thing would happen. And so when I found out, I had to be on bed rest for the whole pregnancy, which was really hard for me because like you were saying, I like to go and move and and it just really slowed me down. But in hindsight, it was a beautiful time because I slowed down and I sat. There were a lot of family members that came through and just kind of blessed me and blessed my son that was coming. And it was a beautiful time. So it went how it was supposed to go, and he was healthy, and it was good. Yeah.
I love to hear. Wow. See, this is exactly what I mean about the beauty of just talking and sharing, because it's like the different experience. No, you okay? Listen. We all still mother right now, and it's totally
awesome.
Okay. It's totally okay. But that is exactly, that's what I was saying earlier, that I just love to hear mothers, talk, especially then, because naturally it gets around to, child, because when I found out, and child, during my pregnancy, or, just right before, or whatever the case may be, and then to hear of the different experiences. And so because I can't help but be who I am, and I promise I won't stay here, but I will respect and honor and acknowledge the fact that you, Shantae, shared your loss with us. I honor you for that, and I'm proud for just being here and sharing that with us right now. That's powerful. That's very, very, very powerful. And then speaking of powerful things to share and to talk about, is that, Linda, I will absolutely acknowledge the fact that you have shared something that is, literally both experiences are so important and don't get the light that they deserve. And I guess in weighing the two, as there is no comparison, but just as far as the light that they deserve, that I think that issues around miscarriages and things get a little more light than postpartum, especially prepartum, because I'm not even so vast in just knowledge with part. I know some of postpartum. I lived that, so you trigger something. I definitely get that. But just prepartum, I hear about it, and I'm now, because I've experienced postpartum, I try to wrap my head around prepartum, and just whatever you're comfortable enough and just sharing just a little insight on that, just of what that, because you've started that conversation. Just so anything else that you'd like to share about that, whether it's bringing some awareness to it, or just something, that you now, know more of that you may not have known beforehand, Linda, to share just a little more, if you don't.
Yeah, sure. So for me, I didn't realize what I was suffering with. I just knew that I felt not like a pregnant woman should feel. I was miserable. One, I was sick. So I was a gestational diabetic.
Okay.
So I was sick, high risk. And I think that, and my mother's had suffered with mental illness, but I don't suffer with mental illness, right? So, you know how to, that ain't me. And I think at that moment, it triggered depression. So I was depressed, I was sick. And even when I talked to my doctor about it, they didn't know how to help me. Because they was like, oh, it's just hormones. So a lot of things get thrown off as hormones, but you're really suffering, and you're suffering alone. I was very combative in my marriage. I mean, a lot of fussing, fighting, and I didn't know, because that wasn't me prior. So I just didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't find this out till years later, like, oh my God. So that's what the cool thing about science, that it's always evolving. Unfortunately, it didn't evolve for me during that time, because I probably would have been a little bit more sane. So I will say during that time, and I'll just make it brief, my saving grace, and this is the truth, I stayed in church. I mean, I literally stayed in church my entire pregnancy. I mean, I think I was shouting and everything my entire pregnancy.
I love it.
So, because that is what helped me, because I didn't know what this was that was going on. And it wasn't until years later that prepartum is a real thing. Like, it's a lot of women that suffer with depression while being pregnant. Just because you have a husband and in the house and all those beautiful things does not mean it may not trigger something in you. And you never know what comes through the line of your DNA. You don't realize it until you're like, oh, wait a minute. And you realize you're no different than anybody else.
Come on now.
So we all in this thing together.
That's it. We did cue Pastor Smith in to say her family
exactly
in this thing together. Like, that is the truth. That was really what was one of the things that was running through my mind as you were sharing. And thank you. And again, as I acknowledge, Shantae, thank you just for sharing, your experience. And I'm so proud of it. I really enjoy telling people how proud I am of just for going through and coming through, because it's a big deal. It is a big deal. You absolutely could have chosen, for the both of you to, you had actually could, as crazy as it may sound, you could have chosen to succumb to, what it is that, felt like it was, taking you over, or what was hard or heavy for you to deal with. And you did not. Even if at some point you felt like, look, child, I must be throwing talent right now, child, this thing. But you did not. Look at you now, like literally look at you now. So I really honor and respect the both of you, respectively and equally, because you just literally never know. And I'm sitting here as in somebody, like, I did not know, any of this. Like, all right, y'all. I'm gonna just weep on. I'm a weep good, because I'm gonna get this thing on. I'm a feeler. So wow. And so just with both of your experiences, that first of all, okay. So Linda, you kicked off kind of where I knew I wanted to go after both of you had shared that, what is it that you want to share and say. And I think it's very, very powerful and profound, Linda, that you stated some of the things that need to be said. And I'm even taking them in, I'm taking them in for myself, as, because I have been the person to dream of, marriage and, this and that. Child, I ain't gonna lie. Now I'm gonna keep putting this out here. Now I had planned all my life to do this thing, right now. I do a plan to just, so, or somebody mentioned earlier, little whoops, and It's a surprise, amen. But it was so so I was that person that even not meaning to, because we don't understand how we sometimes invalidate our sister as in like, okay, you married, like you got a husband, what you talking? Y'all got a house over there. Like, I thank you for that, Linda. Even Shantae, and I won't touch on it, but I just appreciate that you shared earlier that you are, divorced. And so I think that is strong and powerful to, talk about and to share with people, because look at you now, like, look, you're like, girl, oh Lord, your stories, man.
Thank you.
I love being a Black woman. Like, I love women and I love people and I just love God's children. But I'm telling you can't tell me nothing about a Black woman. Like, we're gonna do it. That's it.
Look at you. And look at
no, you now. No, stop now. Go on now. Please. Now. I'm gonna hold my weeping till later, but thank you, man. Please. But like, just it is so important to get, into these, if it's groups or just sessions or what at platforms like that, whatever it takes for us to just talk. Like, that is always my biggest push, just to talk and to talk authentically, just to share. And I understand that there has to be some type of environment and safe haven and atmosphere that is created for people to, want to share. So I appreciate that. And I acknowledge that. But I love to just hear when it happens and just to sit here and I witness this now, because like I said, there's somebody out here that needs to hear, I feel like, a lot of, if not all of what both of you have shared thus far, because, somebody can relate to it. And even if it is the bare minimum that we all need is just to hear and to gain that knowledge, because if it does not relate to me whatsoever, at least if I feel like it doesn't relate to me, it relates to somebody I know, somebody I hadn't heard of, even if it's someone on social media, that I might be scrolling by, like, oh, look at her, man, she will cry, but she got a house, oh, she divorced, like, like you just pass judgment on your sister, like that's your sister. It's not your competition that you just scrolled on social media or that you just walk by, down the street, like that's your family,
Yeah.
I'm just all about family. So I'll just keep on thanking y'all. I'm gonna keep on. I ain't lying. I'm keep on thanking y'all, man. I mean it. Important of what's happening. So okay. So this kind of touches onto something of like what we talked about earlier. So I know we talked about like differences of like just who you were, back then and then this who you are now. So do you think, and just thinking now, right, did the Linda, and you can define back then for however you define it for yourself, right? And did the Shantae back then see the Linda and the Shantae now? Like, did you ever see who you are, how you are? Did you see you now back whenever you can think of?
For me, no, because I was just living in the moment.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
So it was day by day.
Okay.
It wasn't about till 5 years ago that I really came into who I am today. But it was 2015 that I came into who I am today. Okay. Prior to that, and I have to be honest, I really didn't know myself because I was a chameleon. Now, be whatever you needed me to be. If you wanted me to be a daughter, I knew how to be a daughter. You want me to be a friend? Okay, I can be a friend. So now I live my authentic self. So hate it or love it, I am who I am. And so now I don't live in the moment. I do prepare for a rainy day, but I prepare for more good days versus rainy days. So I changed that mindset. So yeah, I don't live in the moment anymore.
Good. That's look, y'all know what's something good. You know how you eating a good meal and you get to rubbing your knee? Baby, I'm rubbing these knees. This is good. Go ahead, Shantae. Like, y'all just trying to take out the shit today. Go ahead, Shantae.
That's so funny.
She's funny.
I'll be talking.
Yeah, I just have to. I agree with Linda when you talk about coming into your own, because I don't know. It probably took me about 40 years to really
That's
like
all right.
to really and I still struggle with it today. Sometimes just being confident. I think I've had a lot of insecurities like throughout my life. And I think that those things held me back from reaching my fullest potential.
Mm-hmm.
And now, I mean, those insecurities pop up sometimes, but it's just not the same. And I think I don't know, because I was gonna say it's something about when you get to your 40s, it's almost like it's almost like forget it. I'm just gonna do me. But it happens for different people at different times. So I can't really necessarily say it's the 40s, because I know some people in their 30s that are at that place. But it took me that long. But so I'm definitely not the same person because I am, just like Linda said, living my authentic self. And, sometimes insecurities creep up, but I really try to just not pay attention to them, which is something that I didn't have the skill to do when I was younger. And so, that's what I would say is different about me at this point, at this stage in my life.
I appreciate that. That's good. I promise y'all, I'm trying to make sure. This is low key. This is why I hate having guests, right? Because I really love being in the moment with people. I just love it. But I also need to take note. Excuse me. Because I don't know. It's something about, I heard that COVID. My sister-in-law actually told me COVID, child, that thing it messed with that memory loss. So I get it. I had like a week-long migraine and then headaches trying to kick in every year now. So I kind of get it, because I gotta take notes. So that's the only thing. It's like, oh, I'm right here because I want to make sure that and I am listening, but I know I look like a anywho. Yeah, I told you. I don't. Yes. No, it's not time to watch Shrek yet, Seniors. No, I just a little more, and just a little more longer.
I don't watch Shrek.
It's yes, I don't watch my own show. I never. She cut the TV on. So anyway, so you have to not yet, okay? I'll go back upstairs, okay? Because that TV, you're gonna watch it loudly, like louder than we normally watch it. Okay, if you could just give me. Okay. The movie went off, so that's why you came downstairs. That wasn't the agreement at all. That's not what we talked about. Going to say space? Okay. Well, then that's all right. Okay. Well, go ahead and clean up the look. Get your Barbies, like toys and clothes and stuff that are just spread out. Yep. Yes, that one is naked. Well, she has on her dance clothes, but you can get her, just pick up outfit. Mommy's almost finished her show, okay? Okay. You all right? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Oh no. Well, see, that is the point of cleaning up. Now, Sydney, I'm gonna finish my show though, okay? Thank you. Okay, get on. Don't tell me everybody she picks up. That's good. Okay, Mommy's gonna finish talking to Miss Linda and Miss Shantae, okay? And everybody else, all right? There we go. Just but yeah, so I was sorry, y'all. But what was that? Oh, there we go. Because I was about to talk about memory loss, and I was about to say that I'll be forgetting. But I love, like I said, being in the moment. Just as people share, especially as people reflect. That is like bless you, baby. That's one of the most important things to me for everybody to do, because that is a sure way to help us to, just if we, leaned off a little bit, to kind of get back right, because it's something about that revelation that you have that is really only given to you by God. And then when it clicks for you, because we, can hear different messages. So we can hear, different things as as we're growing up and coming up, you hear different things. Like, oh, I heard, this person said that. Okay. But baby, when you hear it and it clicks, because you keep hearing it, but when it clicks, it's like, oh, Lord, oh, child, that thing. Okay. That got me together. I'm right here now. Right. And so I really love just to hear when people like reflect back to, you know, oh, back then, back when, and it can be a different back when for everybody. That's why I always, if ever I ask the question or come around to it, I kind of just try to leave it, you know, open and not to be like, oh, when you were 7, when were you back then? And go on, tell me, you know, what's the difference between your now and your back then, right? And so I appreciate that because of the difference of, I guess, of revelations that both of you have come to, but that it still brought you to such, you know, a profound place. Like similarly though, that like as women, as mothers, like as, you know, go-getters, as people that got to get it done, got to make it happen, just because it's in your nature, that's what you are doing. And it is because and you know, it doesn't matter how often you may reflect or, you know, think of this revelation, but it's there and it's working, you know, within you because of how important it is. So that's why I said just about having guests, I'll be like, oh, I want to write something down, but it's so good and I want to be right here, but I'm writing. So forgive me, I promise I'm not being rude at all. Because I mean, my spirit is just like eating it up. Like I am just glutton tonight. My spirit is like, child, it didn't burp and everything. I'm telling you, I ain't lying. Full tonight. Yeah, give my response. I can help you right now, okay? You have to give me a second. You have to be patient, okay? Thank you so much. You're just so good to me. So to recap, and I'm sorry, before I go any further, Sean, he said, I applaud you all. So we have some.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Sean, thank you. But I just to recap, just from that previous question, though, we heard about living in the difference between living in the moment to now knowing who you are. And it's really important because I really relate to, I love how you put it, Linda, that Sydney, yeah, okay, thank you. Oh my, it was quiet on the set. Bye-bye. That I love how you put it, that it was like, you know, a chameleon and like who you needed me to be, I could be, right? Like, and it's, I don't know why that, I'll figure out this in my thoughts and in my own self-reflection that of just why that really speaks to me and says something for me already just on surface is because I relate to that. But it's like, it does something for me to hear it from someone else. That's what I said, it's so important to just talk because you never know what it is that you're sharing. And this is me, this coming back to me now that I keep it keeps coming back to me about just people, the reflection and like, outlook that people seem to have for me just sharing when I think I'm just talking. I'll be like, it's refreshing. I've been hearing that a lot more recently. I've heard it before, but heard it a lot more recently. It's doing something for me, right? So it's really empowering me to really like just tell my story. And so it's so important though to hear you Linda say that you know what people like what you need me to be, I could be, because that was me. And it doesn't mean, okay, give mommy 1 second, okay? Promise. For 20 minutes. And so try not to say 1 second when I don't mean 1 second. I'll be lying. I get oh no, okay, you gotta dry her hands off, okay? Take good care of her, okay? Give mommy a second though. I mean, it's a minute, it's a moment. Play quietly, okay? Thank you. I don't even know why I say it. I don't know why I say it. It's not good. Good night, dog baby. Get her a blanket so she's not cold, okay? Okay, we'll feed her something, cook her something to eat in your kitchen. Okay. Okay, so also my producer, he's yelling at me in the chat. Oh no, you gotta fix it, okay? He said it's my fault. Give me 1 second when she comes back. I'm surprised every time. He gets me together. All right, Monty, now you gotta yell at me. But okay, I promise. So I'm getting back. So Linda, it's important though for me to hear, because I know that that's in the times where either I was misunderstood and or where I guess because of me ever being misunderstood by it, any other time where it came up as a thing, which I don't even know if all the time I gave people the time and the space they were, you know, saying that I was, you know, being phony or not, but it's just that at some point, one way or another, somebody probably tried to give me that. And it was really like, no, I just know how to be, you know, who, you know, like, oh, we're cool over here. Okay, cool. We're cool over here now. Like I'm easily adaptable and I adapt and I relate easily, but it was still a thing. And I now thinking back just in my own reflection and hearing that, I realized that it was God strengthening my muscle of the fact that I am relatable by so many different types of people.
Mhm.
That's good.
Which is a good quality, yeah.
Right? And so I had to realize, so talking about how, when we were younger and they would talk, see, you gotta cut it down. Sydney, cut it down, okay? Because it's like on 100. First of all, I don't like loud TV, so I don't even understand.
Neither do I.
Oh my goodness, Sydney, you gotta cut it down or cut it off. Keep cutting it down. Push it. Keep pushing it. Yeah,
that's my TV like on 8.
No, but really, like, and I'd be just as fine. Like,
I'm fine. They have for like on 30.
Cut it down. Cut it down. Cut it down or cut it off. Okay, just give me 1 second. I might as well just get on up and do this thing because that's just how we got to do it. Yeah, just intermission music.
Life of a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Oh, right. There we go. Look at that. This is a first for that one. I never had to get all the way up. Usually.
And leave.
Because it's only a show. Mommy's only doing the show. It's not important. No.
That's real.
No, it does not matter to her at all. But you can put the show on. It's just gonna be on mute, just for a little bit, literally.
It's okay. My daughter came up here about 7 times, and I keep doing like this.
I just looking over like this. Don't
say no. I have.
In my face.
But I have enjoyed the different faces. I've enjoyed like the.
Yeah, like, it's going. They're older. That's all.
That's not fair. Cut it off now. Cut it off. You gotta cut it off because you're not working with me.
Oh,
you're gonna learn to cut it down now. There it is. Because she went. Oh, is it just good? She said, "Never mind."
It's just different.
Yeah, we just gonna work all the rest. I might be yelling a little more because I don't know what this background sounds like. Tamana, you're gonna have to definitely tell me if it's like not working at all. But oh Lord, that I know she cut it up. Okay, we pushing, y'all. We pushing. I think it was a little cut up. I think it got a little louder. I do. Because I'm gonna get up again. Because it's me. It's the loud TV, y'all. Give me one.
That's funny.
it is.
Oh, it's on 27. Oh my word.
Yep.
Turn all the way.
Oh Lord. My ears feel like they can't breathe. It was on 27. Oh my
yep.
God. So loud. Okay. Woo. Okay. Now that I feel like I can breathe. It was me. I was worried about the show, but it was me. But just like I was recapping just of like, and I had, like I said, I had been, misunderstood and misinterpreted, just different things about that of just being a chameleon, but like that it is like a strong, characteristic. I just didn't know that. So then when it was when they were misinformed, I guess, or when I was misjudged and misunderstood, I just took that on versus feeling like no, like this is pretty good over here. Like,
right. Right.
So it was kind of strengthening that for me. And it's still all back to what I know is a part of my purpose, which is to tell my story. Right. So I really appreciate that comment for sure, because it really did something for me. And even, Charlotte, we were talking about like living, authentic self and just that's it. Like isn't that the goal? Like that's the place to work toward to get to, and to be that, now just to acknowledge the fact that we may not have had or just did not have those skills or that skill when we were younger. And it's okay. Like that is always my favorite thing to end something with. People be like, oh, because I'm this and I'm my shortcoming here, my insecurity there. And that's okay. Like, and that's okay. Like, well, why are you saying that? But it is because
it really
have to acknowledge it. Like it's okay that you may not have done or known this. But guess what? Now you do. So that's the whole point here on the B-Mix. We talk about just, acknowledging whatever it is in the past and all that, acknowledging that in the moment, and now making that decision, because there's a blessing in making that decision right then and there in order to, change whatever is to come. So it's just, oh Lord, I'm talking about, I don't know about nobody else tonight, but I'm full. And so because of that, before I share just some other like info and get us out of here in the next 11 minutes, promise. So we're getting out of here, y'all. I don't know about nobody else. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Okay. Like tonight of all night, like I'm talking. But okay. So we are mommies, right? First and foremost, we are women. And even before then, we are, children and daughters, because I'm not saying they were all women. We all identify. Now, I didn't establish nobody's now with pronouns or nothing, but I'm just gonna say, yeah, okay. I just and no judgment. I'm just saying, but I just want to
we all can have babies over here.
Now, okay, we are womb mans on here,
We have wombs.
Okay, just saying, but if there's anybody else on here, just But so before all of that, we are daughters of Christ, and so with all of the things that you have experienced, that you have witnessed, that you have heard of, that you could possibly think of, and like we've established in the very beginning of the show, that we are parenting and mothering and womaning, I don't know, as in the 21st century, what is it for sure that your child or your children need to know?
I have to pause. There is a fight going on in my basement, and it's getting kind of loud.
And that's totally okay.
So let me just.
I didn't got up twice.
I'm not leaving. I just.
Okay, I got you. It's fine. I promise. And guess what, Shanta? I was about to say, honestly, it is totally okay to take that moment, right, to think, because I want to do a plug in here for everyone.
Okay.
Excuse me. Because first and foremost, two things, y'all, before we get out of here, and before Linda and Shante share at the end, before we actually sign off. One thing I realized that I did not, y'all know I love my calendar, right? So I love my Equal Justice Initiative calendar by EJI, and it is it's of course a year-long calendar. It's about the history of racial injustice. So we're just taking a moment just to let everybody know what it is that for sure that your child or your children must know. So before, just to give you both some time to think about it, excuse me, y'all. I want to share, because at the beginning of every show, since I've had this calendar, I've always shared our history moment. Oh my goodness. Okay. So today is Thursday, May 6th, right? In 1913, excuse me, y'all. Oh, thank you, Lord. This week, California enacts legislation barring Asian immigrants from owning land. 15 other states later passed similar laws. And so I had to share it. One is I love to share. Y'all see this one? This is the picture for this month. This is for the viewers that's been paying attention, that over, I think, just the past couple of months. Like I said, I only had this calendar. It ain't been all year, but I've been sharing it ever since. And so it's interesting because, and I know this is a whole nother ball game, but of course there's a lot of talk about in the state of Maryland and even in Baltimore City, but definitely just the state. They were talking about that. I believe that this month is Asian American History Month. And then there's just a push for just more respect and acknowledgement of Asian Americans. I just thought to share that how interesting that is. And so that is our history moment of racial injustice in America. Again, back in 1913, that this week California enacted legislation barring Asian immigrants from owning land, and then other states passed similar laws. And so the second piece that I'll give while I'm still stalling, just to give you just a last few moments to think about your response, is that, again, the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so, again, we started off this month with talking about a mother's mentality. which again, I'm full off of it. I didn't know how full I really would be. And I'm not just saying it, I really mean it. But just a plug for everyone that for mental health and for the mental health piece overall is that what's really important is family support. So you've heard throughout this conversation, throughout this evening, just for the woman, you know, in your life, the mother that's in your life, whether if you are the mother, if you are, you know, your child's mother, your aunt, whomever, right, that's in your life. It's important to have family support. You've heard about pressures, right? Pressures of life, as we all know in general, but even again, being the woman and the mother of the family. And so to to support family that either has, you know, mental health, we can say issues, challenges, even, you know, diagnosed or undiagnosed, you know, challenges, it's helpful for you to get educated, right? To educate yourself on the many different issues that your family member could be experiencing. Educate yourself on the many different issues that you yourself could be experiencing.
Right.
It's very important. And so it's very normal for us, especially, you know, us, you know, the color, you know, it's normal for us to ignore it, right? But it's not really possible to ignore it because it wears on everybody, and it really just wears on the entire family. And so to deal with it, especially to deal with it properly and without judgment, it's important for us, again, to be able to lend the support that's needed, not necessarily the support that we just kind of want to throw on, right? And so I'll share with you that NAMI, N-A-M-I, that they actually have a 12-week class. It's family to family. And so I would love for everyone to just look into it, Google it, and kind of research just other resources in order to be able to seek and gain the knowledge in order to help those around you, whether it's your family, because if you think of all the family that you may or may not know, excuse me, that deal with mental health, you know, issues and challenges, but think of all the strangers that you're not aware of either. Somebody that you have, you know, walked, you know, by, even in COVID. So you've been outside at some point, you know,
right.
walking or something, right? Or for, you know, those that even on social media, again, like we were talking about earlier, you might just scroll by and you didn't pass judgment on somebody. You don't know what that baby's sitting there with. You don't know what that person, man or woman or other, right, is with. So you definitely just want to take heed. So I've stalled enough. I wanted to.
No, that was some good information.
Thank you. I wanted to just share that with everyone because of, again, like the awareness and just our responsibility and our obligation. You know, again, about, you know, making everyone aware. So anywho, we have literally just a few minutes before we get out of here. So I'll give you both the floor to share with us one thing that, you know, your child or your children that you feel as though need to know. Whoever wants to go first. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. I think the challenge is just trying to narrow it down to one.
I know, right? I know. Trust me.
Like,
I literally thought about it being the first question. I was like, ask it because this one gonna run. Like we're gonna. I told myself, I was like, oh man, I know Linda will have to get off at 8:45. This one might go to 8:45. I don't know. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have no more questions until she get off. But I'm glad it worked out this way. So I left it to the end.
Yeah, they're still watching a movie.
Okay, good. I just sign off just before we get off of here in like 2 minutes. Just our sign off, just a quick thing, and you can absolutely develop this more. And of course, I'm sure it's things that you thought of, but just something that you like to share, you know, with everyone that you know for sure that you want your child or children to know.
For me, I just want her to know that they matter, that they matter, and that's it. You matter. You're important. And a lot of people are running around here because they don't feel like they're important or they matter. We see all of the squeaky boys. Why are you out there washing windows? You know, when you think of the broad spectrum of things, why are you it's somewhere in translation, in parenting, someone showed you that you didn't matter. And that's my take.
I that.
That's
Thank
good.
you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would, yeah, that's a good one.
Look, I was going to say that could be it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Shantae, unless you have something to add, that
Well, yeah, I do. It was hard to kind of narrow it down, but when I think about it, I think I want them to know that it's okay to make a mistake, and if you do, it's not the end of the world. Like, you can get back up again, and you can keep moving forward, something like that. Because I think a lot of times people will just stop everything because of a mistake and veer off their path to, their destiny. So I think that's important.
Oh, listen, ain't nothing else, and I mean ain't nothing else for me to say beside to sign us off, because I mean it, that you've heard it, here first, or at least hopefully it has resonated something in you to hear that for the child in you, or for your child, or for you as a child that may be watching in some kind of way, I don't know, but you matter, and it's okay that you've made a mistake. Learn from it, grow from it, and that means that you'll go forward, from it, away from it, whatever it is that you feel as though that has you bound. And so thank you, Shantae. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. And I mean, absolutely sharing your wisdom with us. Thank you for sharing your insight. I appreciate you seriously, both respectively and equally, with my heart and my spirit. We are signing off tonight. If you have not heard anything here that can't do anything for you, I don't know what's going on. I mean it. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
Goodbye.